Aquarius Houston, I have some additional entry data that goes with the pad I just read up. It's 5 items. Let me know when you're ready to copy. It's on a maneuver pad.
Okay, I'll try to squeeze them in here, Jack. I'm rapidly running out of pads. Go ahead.
Okay, it's NA all the way down to noun 61. Your latitude is minus 21.
Hold on a minute, hold on. You need the... Hold on, Jack. I need the other pad book. That's CSM pad.
That's firm.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay, noun 61. Latitude minus 2167. Minus 16537. 11631. 36 29er 2 142 41 02. Read back.
Okay, now 61 minus 2167 minus 16537 11631 362 Nanner 2 142 4102.
Good, read back. This is Apollo Control at 104 hours 41 minutes. The splash coordinates for which this burn is targeted are 21.67 degrees south, 165.37 west.
And you should have high bid rate now, Jack.
Okay, Fred, we're getting it now.
Houston, Aquarius.
Go ahead, Aquarius.
Good. Do you have readouts on our quad temps to know when we can start? We're taking a time hack. We just like a verification with you.
Roger, your quad temps look good from here.
Okay, Houston, Aquarius, we're going to stop PTC at this time.
Roger, Aquarius, go ahead. How about if you do
say again, Jack?
Negate's on my last, Fred.
Okay, Jack, how do you read now?
Go ahead, Aquarius.
Oh, okay, I thought you called, Jack. We're maneuvering around here to fish for the Earth. And Houston, Aquarius, how's the ASA package temp look now?
Okay, Fred, the ASA package temp is looking good. It's around 98 degrees, and we'd like to see it go up about 15 to 20 degrees.
Okay, why don't you give me the word before I proceed with the eggs? We really don't need it right this instant.
Roger, we'll be watching it. Aquarius Houston, the ASA package temperature is up now, so you can activate the eggs.
Okay, very good. Okay, Jack, so we can make sure and get our timer set here. I wonder if when you've got about 48 minutes to the burn, which should be coming up pretty quick, you give us a hack so we can see our mid timer at 12.
Roger, Fred. I understand you want to mark at 12 minutes prior to the burn. Is that affirmed?
Roger. We think we got it set now. We just wanted to check it. If we don't, then I'll get it to 13, and you can give me another hack at 47 to go.
Okay, we've got 33 to go. Mark. My mistake, it was 33.
Right on.
Roger, it was reading 33 on my mark, right?
Nope. Okay, you got about 10503 GET now down there?
That's affirmative, Fred. Going through 105.03.45. Mark.
Okay. Okay, Jack, give me the next number you want me to set then, and I'll take another hack here.
Roger, you're counting up, right?
Roger.
Okay, Fred, on my mark, be 35 minutes to the burn.
Stay by.
We missed her, Fred. Let's get her on the next minute.
Okay.
Okay, Aquarius, on my mark, it's going to be 24 minutes to the burn, and you'll be reading 36. Stand by. Mark.
Okay, we got it cranked up.
This is Apollo Control at 105 hours 8 minutes. Following this burn, passive thermal control will be reestablished, and the command module pilot Jack Swigert and the lunar module pilot Fred Hayes will begin a 6-hour rest period. This is Apollo Control. We will wait until the burst disk on the supercritical helium goes before reestablishing passive thermal control, however. Apollo 13 now 152,604 nautical miles from Earth. Velocity 4,450 feet per second.
Okay, Houston, we have our attitude set.
Roger, Jim.
I hope the guys in the back room who thought this up right knew what they're saying. And I'm looking through the AOT there, Jack, and the sun's right at the top, and it's about maybe 2 degrees to the right of the cursor, so that looks real good.
Roger, good going. Okay, Aquarius, attitude looks good here, and your choice when you want to start the burn.
We're counting down, aren't we, or do you want us to start anytime?
Your choice.
You guys are getting easy.
It's not time critical, Jim.
I understand. And Houston, we reset our clock, and we'll be making the burn, and about, I'll give you a hack here, it's 2 minutes to go.
Roger, Fred, and let us know when you're going to ullage, will you?
Okay. Okay, stand by. 2, 1, mark it. 3 minutes to go. Correction, 2 minutes to go, Jack.
Roger, 2 minutes. We got it. Aquarius, Houston, check engine gimbal off, please.
It's verified off. And mark it 1 minute.
Roger, Fred.
Engine arm to descent. College.
Ignition. Thrust looks good. Shut down.
470.
Roger, we copy 7.4.
Roger, 7.4. And I had about 210 showing, I guess, when we started.
Roger, we verify that. Okay, Aquarius, trim it to 7.6.
Okay, you want plus X now to get 7.6, is that correct?
That's affirmative.
Okay, you're looking at it, Houston.
Okay, looks good. Nice work.
Let's hope it was.
Okay, Aquarius, we're ready to follow you through on setting up PTC and power down. Your choice.
Okay, okay, we're pressing into getting PTC established right now.
This is Apollo Control at 105 hours 23 minutes. That trimming was done with the reaction control system. Burn looked good. Fido will want to get some tracking now and look at that for a while before he can tell precisely what was achieved. Decision has been made to go ahead and reestablish passive thermal control prior to the supercritical helium tank venting. There's enough uncertainty into the time when that will vent now that we're going to go ahead and establish the PTC. We can expect venting any time up to within the next 2 hours probably. We'll continue to stand by for live air-ground transmissions.
Aquarius Houston, we'd like to change the number of yaw pulses we gave you before as 21. We'd like to reduce that to 12. 12 pulses, yaw right, and that'll take you about 3 seconds to get them in if you don't want to count them.
Okay, we'll make it 12 versus 21. Okay, Houston, I'm just about there now, and as soon as I get 90, we'll start damping rates.
Roger, Aquarius.
This is Apollo Control, Jim Lovell, setting up the passive thermal control now. We're reading a pressure in the supercritical helium tank of 1,834 pounds per square inch. The burst disk range is 1881 to 1970 pounds per square inch. The latest prediction is that we'll reach the lower limit, the lower burst limit, 1881 in about an hour and a half. We're predicting a rise rate in the pressure of 33 pounds per square inch per hour right now.
Okay, Houston, I'm trying to damp rates now. We're at the proper roll attitude and pitch.
Roger, Aquarius. Working a little better this time.
Are you copying any attitudes down there, rates, etc.?
Okay, Aquarius, we're seeing some extremely low rates at this time, really below our capability to measure them.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control at 105 hours 35 minutes. The flight dynamics officer expects a fairly reasonable estimate of the trajectory in approximately 2 hours.
Houston, I think I've got pitch and roll just about squared away. I let yaw just slightly drift. It's drifting in a clockwise direction. And I'm about all set now to put in my 12 clicks to the right.
Roger, Jim, we're ready to look at it with you.
This is Apollo Control at 105 hours 37 minutes. The ignition time of that mid-course burn was 105 hours 18 minutes 32 seconds. The total duration of both the descent propulsion system and the trim burn was 15.4 seconds. Delta V achieved was 7.6 feet per second.
12 clicks right.
Okay, and Jack, are we clear now to proceed with the power down?
That's affirmative, Fred. We're ready to press on with the power down. I've got 2 changes for you. Step 1 of the emergency power down on page power-5. Over.
Go ahead.
Okay, leave your power amplifier switch and primary device off, and put your ranging switch to range, device off, reset.
Okay, we're in prime on the power amp and ranging on ranging.
Affirmative.
Okay, I'm going to pull down here just to go
Okay, configure CVs. There you go.
Aquarius Houston, hold off one and power down, please.
Okay, we'll hold off. And we're looking at a sheet pressure incidentally of about 1830 now.
Roger, we concur with that. And looks like you got a little pitch rate going here. Do you copy the same?
Okay, my pitch needle is just slightly up now. I can try taking it out if you want me to.
Up. There you go.
Just hold off on it one, Jim. We'd like to take a look at it.
Okay.
Aquarius, we'll need high bit rate, please.
Flashlight, Jack? Jack, flashlight over here a minute.
Aquarius, we need the power amplifier back and high bit rate, please.
You got it.
get a couple in a row pretty soon. What is it, 1.7? Yeah, but that was set up by the tanks. Well, we gotta turn on the heaters. We want to save. What's that twisting out there in the breeze? Are we venting again? Take a look, Jack. Well, once we get squared away, Jill, I think I'm going to have to become a space veteran and take a good, healthy one and weed just about everything. I've held up long enough.
That's coming from above. Another one is just coming down and over here. Well, there's the old Terminator at Palmaro. We've been landing about 2 hours ago, huh? Right on, just
Houston Aquarius.
to the right of the Terminator.
Go ahead, Aquarius.
Just for information, although I thought I'd never have to use it, that technique looked like it was a pretty good one.
Roger, Jim, and we'd like you to give us your idea of how the PTC looks. We're not sure we're seeing what we ought to hear.
Okay, I still have my ball powering up, and I'm coming around past 270 right now. I've got a slight roll and pitch offset in there. My pitch needle is about halfway up, and my roll needle is about 40 degrees over now.
Okay, Jim, with that info, we'll go on the PTC and let's proceed with the power down.
Okay, we'll proceed with the PTC and proceed with the power down. I guess if we have to, we can reestablish PTC at a later date. Okay. Okay, well, first row. Out. Eggs. Your eggs out?
My what? My what? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the 4 inverters and the bus, AC bus volts, Fred.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's give me the light a second, Jack, and I'll see if they're all out. Okay. RCS System A. That's in. TCAs are going off. Why do we leave the ISO valves in the asset feeds in?
They're not sucking any power unless you take these switches and move them.
How can we pull them out then for this burn?
Because they didn't want them to get moved inadvertently, I guess. It doesn't matter, Jim. They could be out or in terms of power down. It's just, they just don't count.
Okay, I got 1, 2, 3. ISO valve should be in too. Yeah, okay, third row. Attitude track control, I still have in.
Jack, how do you read now in baseband?
Bring you 5 square, Fred. How many?
Okay, I'll stay this mode if it's all right, so we won't be hot mic.
Roger. Aquarius Houston, you're cleared to open the power amplifier circuit breaker and go to low bit rate, leaving the power amp switch in primary.
Okay, I'll pull the prime S-band power amp breaker and go low bit rate.
This is Apollo Control at 106 hours, 2 minutes. We're in the midst of a shift changeover here in Mission Control at this time. Flight Director Milton Wendler and the Maroon team of flight controllers replacing Flight Director Jerry Griffin and the Gold team. Our capsule communicator on this shift will be astronaut Jack Lausma. One of our large LEM status boards here in Mission Control would indicate that the power down of the LEM is completed at this time. During the burn, power levels on the LEM were running around 25 amps. We're now showing the power somewhere between 10 and 12 amps. The target level during the power down is to keep it to at least 14 amps, so we're well below the minimum target and in very good shape on LEM power at this time. Flight Director Wendler at this time is reviewing the status with each of his flight controllers. And at the present time, Apollo 13 is 150,302 nautical miles from Earth, traveling at a velocity of 4,498 feet per second. There will be a change of shift briefing. We do not have a time at the moment. We'll pass that along to you as soon as it is available. At 106 hours, 3 minutes, this is Mission Control, Houston.
And Houston, Aquarius.
Go ahead, Aquarius.
About how far out are we now, Jack?
Okay, Aquarius, you're 150,000 miles, and you're coming in at 4,500 feet a second. That's from the Earth.
Okay, we're at 150K, 4,500 feet a second.
This is Apollo Control. Our LEM control officer reports that...
How much TTCA control did you have to do during the burn?
How much, what was that, Jack?
How much control with the TTCA did you have to do during the burn?
I wouldn't notice in the gym too much. I'd say I put in maybe about 6 or 7 inputs. I don't think it ever got off more than a couple of needle wicks.
Roger, Fred. Thank you.
Actually, it was probably the same for Jim. I wouldn't notice it as inputs, but the needle, his needle was hanging in there pretty good.
Roger. Thank you, Fred.
This is Apollo Control. Flight Director Milton Wendler has completed checking the status with each of his flight controllers at this time, and the general tenor all the way around was that we're in very good shape at the present time. A couple of the significant items discussed. The surgeon reported that the lithium hydroxide, the makeshift lithium hydroxide canister, appears to be doing an excellent job. We're presently reading a carbon dioxide level of 1.2 millimeters of mercury. The LM Telecom reported that they're beginning to see the effects of the engine burn, heat soak back into the helium tank, and related rise in pressure in the helium, which would indicate that the burst disk may go a bit earlier than originally predicted, although the heat soak back had been expected. The plot that we have on the pressure rise in the helium tank would indicate the burst disk going sometime between 107 and 108 hours ground elapsed time. The range on the burst disk is 1,881 pounds per square inch to 1,970 pounds per square inch, and somewhere between this pressure range we would expect the burst disk to go, relieving the pressure on the supercritical helium tank. The flight dynamics officer reported that when we get the burst disk rupture, they will be observing what they call Doppler shift to see what effect the venting from the helium tank has on the trajectory. If there is no effect on the trajectory, we would expect to have preliminary data on the effects of the mid-course correction within about 2 hours. That would be about 2 hours after the burst disk ruptures. If, on the other hand, there is some change in velocity as a result of the burst disk rupture, the flight dynamics officer said that it would be at least 5 hours before we had a preliminary estimate on the trajectory, the new trajectory. We've noted that the communications has gotten somewhat noisier. This is related to the power down of the lunar module. One of the items that is turned off in the power down is the communications power amplifier. This increases the noise with respect to the signal, and we do expect the communications to remain more or less noisier than they have been. This condition will vary as the spacecraft attitude changes and as the position of the antennas changes with respect to the tracking antennas on Earth. The flight plan at this time calls for the command module pilot Jack Swigert and the lunar module pilot Fred Hayes to get about 6 hours of rest. Jim Lovell will stay on the watch in the lunar module. At 106 hours 16 minutes, Apollo 13 is 149,706 nautical miles from Earth, traveling at a speed of 4,509 feet per second. And the clock in mission control counting down to entry shows that we have 36 hours 24 minutes until Earth entry. This is Apollo Control at 106 hours 17 minutes.
Aquarius Houston, how do you read?
Read you loud, clear, Jack.
Okay, Jack, what's your status? Who's sleeping and who's working?
Well, right now, we're all three kind of working. You have any recommendations?
Yeah, it looks like to us from here that you and Fred ought to get some sleep, and that you ought to eat in about 6 hours, and that the skipper ought to go to bed about 113 hours.
Okay.
Got some other information. We shouldn't have some good dope on your trajectory in about 2 hours. Looked like to us that the burn was real good, however, and we're taking a close look at it, and we'll get back with you on that in about 2 hours from now. Another thing that we're expecting to have happen is that the sheet tank is going to reach its burst limit. The earliest time we predict this will happen would be at 107 hours, or in about 25 minutes. And the latest probable time is at 110 hours. And this is supposed to be a non-propulsive vent, but you might hear it and you might see something.
Okay, that's good news. We were wondering about that. And I'll relay all the other information you gave me.
Okay, and if the sheet tank does burst during this time frame before we get trajectory info, that will delay our trajectory info somewhat. Your consumables, your water is now good through 152 hours.
Jack, wait a minute. Let me copy some of this down.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready now.
Okay, we're predicting that you still have more water than you need. And one thing we'd like you to do is to, when you're going to sleep up there in a command module, take a look through the optics and see if you can see any stars.
Okay, Jack, I will do. Jim and I were able to spot constellations from the windows of the LM when there's no venting taking place. Could you give me some time on these consumables? What's your prediction they're good for? I think you started to give time. Didn't hear, or was I just hearing things?
We started to give you some times. We think we might be able to give you some better ones pretty soon. But it looks like your water is good through 154 hours. And you got toxin O2 through 272 hours. Plenty of lithium hydroxide. And your amp hours ought to be good through 199 or 200 hours. Over.
Okay, good. Copy that.
We expect that your water rate is going to drop off, and at the time delta will go up to 160, 165 hours quite shortly. Another thing we're interested in is what's your status on rest and medication?
Okay, none of us I know have had any medication, and right now, as far as rest, I suppose we're no tighter than normally in this situation. I'm going to relay the work sleep cycle.
Okay, and don't forget to look through the optics when you go up in the command module.
Okay, I'll do that. Jack, as luck would have happened, we just now started to bend over towards the command module. Like there are here, so we'll be able to get the stars out of the optics. I did look at it and it's to the sections that we see the distinguish between these particles and stars. As the particles are kind of big and glowing, and the stars appear as glowing light sources as they pass by. So
Okay, Aquarius, so go ahead now. I think I can hear you.
Okay, Jack. I was going to say, as luck would have it, the command module picked this time to start venting again. So I probably won't be able to get a good hack out of stars out of the
thank you. If you can think of it when the time comes up when you're not venting, how about remembering to take a look through them and give us a word?
Okay, will do. Houston Aquarius.
Go ahead, over.
This is Apollo Control at 106 hours 45 minutes.
Did you call?
Yes, Jack. I just got a question. How long are you predicting the command module LIOH canisters to last in here?
Okay, Jack, we've got 14 cartridges that'll last 157 hours, plus we've got the LM primary cartridge for 23 hours, and we've got 2 plus cartridges, 7 hours apiece.
Okay, I was just curious as to how much time we got out of these 2 cartridges.
Oh, stand by one. I'll get a prediction on that, and by the way, I hope you're keeping track of the ones you've used and the ones you're not.
Yeah, right now we have numbers 7 and 8 in the LM here.
Roger.
They were 2 brand new freshmen.
This is Apollo Control. The participants for the change of shift press briefing are leaving mission control now. We estimate that the briefing will begin in about 10 minutes in the MSC main auditorium in the news center. While we're waiting for the information which Jack Swigert requested on the expected lifetime of the 2 current lithium hydroxide canisters, we might recap some of the conversations between Swigert and Capcom Jack Lausma. Jack Swigert reported the crew had taken no medication, and he said that as far as rest goes, they're no more tired than normally in this situation. He said they plan to switch to a rest cycle as indicated in the flight plan as soon as it's convenient. We passed up a consumable status to the crew. Also, the status on the supercritical helium tank burst disk. We expect that we'll be within the range where the disk could rupture within a matter of minutes. We're presently showing the supercritical helium tank pressure at 1,874 pounds per square inch. We'll hit the lower limit of 1,881 pounds per square inch shortly, and we'll be advising the crew when that level is reached. Jack Lausma advised them that they very likely will hear the disk rupture and may see something from the LEM at the time it ruptures.
Houston, in regards to the CO2 canisters, by the way, the PCO2 is reading 1.6 down here now. We expect that we can get 6 more hours out of the 2 canisters that we have there, 6 hours at least. However, at 112 hours, when we've got several people up, we're going to rig up 2 more. And we have a new simplified procedure for doing this. However, in the meantime, should we need to have a canister change, we plan to switch to the LEM primary canister. Over.
Okay, copy that, Jack.
And Aquarius, how's your PTC holding up?
Well, we got a little bit off, Jack. It starts high in the LMP window and goes low in the CDR window. So we got a little bit of a wobble on, of course, the command module venting doesn't help either. Houston, Aquarius.
Go ahead, Aquarius.
Jack, in reference to your question about the PTC, on this last complete revolution, the sun first appeared in the very top right corner of the LMP window, passed over the CDR window and was visible through the overhead window, and now the moon came pretty well through the center of both windows this last time.
Okay, thank you, Jack. I copied that. Aquarius, Houston, we'd like to get a little better idea of how PTC is going, so what we'd like you to do is what we did last time. That is to give us a reading on the center of the Earth and the center of the Moon on the LPD.
On the LPD, okay. Let's accept it. Let's see, the moon's gone by, and the Earth didn't come into the LPD last time.
Okay, but when it goes by the plane of the LPD, tell us where it was, okay?
Okay, will do.
This is Apollo Control at 107 hours 11 minutes. Our displays based on telemetry information from the spacecraft currently show that we have a pressure in the supercritical helium tank of about 1,889 pounds per square inch. This is within the range where the burst disk on the tank could rupture. The range is roughly between 1,881 pounds per square inch and 1,970 pounds per square inch. During the last 10 or 15 minutes, there's been a huddle around the flight director's console. The subject of the discussion is what procedure we use if the burst disk does not rupture, as expected. The pressure in the tank should not go above about 2,000 pounds per square inch. If the burst disk does not rupture, we would need to use an alternative method of depressurizing the tank. These alternatives involve either depressurizing by venting all at once or by venting in stages, a little at a time. And a decision has not been made at this time on how the tank would be vented in the event that it is necessary, but those are the options that we have as it appears right now. You've also heard Jack Swigert aboard the LEM reporting the relative position of the Earth and Moon and Sun as the spacecraft rotates in the passive thermal control mode, and as these bodies come into view through the windows. We've asked him to give a relative position of the Earth and Moon on the landing point designator, the grid on the LEM window, which is calibrated, and will give us a bit more precise information on how the spacecraft is maintaining its passive thermal control attitude. At the present time, We show Apollo 13 to be 147,186 nautical miles from the Earth.
Just past the Earth, it came into view at the top left-hand corner of the LMP's window and was going down. However, when it passed, it wasn't as high up as the last pass. It did pass in the view of the CDR's window, but just too high up to get an LPD reading.
Roger, understand it went high in both windows then.
Yeah, last time it wasn't even visible in the CDR's window. This time it was visible, but if you squat it down, but too high up to get an LPD reading.
Okay, Jack, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, Houston, Aquarius.
Go ahead, over.
Okay, the moon came into view at the middle of the LMP's window, passed through the CDR's window at an LPD of 5 degrees.
Roger, understand.
This is Apollo Control at 107 hours 31 minutes. We're presently reading a pressure on the supercritical helium tank of 1,897 pounds per square inch. Our LEM control officer just advised the flight director that he expects the most likely time for the burst disk on the supercritical helium tank to rupture would be within the next 15 minutes or so. At that time, our indication in mission control that the disk is ruptured would be a drop in the tank pressure to 0. We presently show a current on the spacecraft electrical power system of anywhere from 10 to 12 amps. This is well below the minimum that we'd like to stay under. We'd like to keep it down to at least 14 amps, and since the spacecraft has been powered down, we've been well below that figure.
Houston, Aquarius.
Go ahead, Aquarius.
Okay, Jack, on this pass, the Earth came into the view at the top part of the LMP's window, and we got an LPD angle on it as it passed through the CDR's window of a -4 degrees.
Okay, -4. Thank you, Jack.
It's above the... Okay, you're familiar with a -4 being up into the sky part, huh?
Affirmed.